What's up, guys? It's Nivanad back here with another video, and I'm representing Rusev with the Bulgarian Brute shirt. I told you guys I was gonna make a video today, so hopefully you guys kept the reminder and hopefully you guys watched this. So today's video is gonna be my top 10 elite action figures of 2018. I have some of these figures, I do not have some of these figures, but like I said in the video yesterday, comment down below what your top 10 would be, and if you like the picks I made, and if you don't like the picks I made. So first, at the number 10 slot, we have Harley Race with his flashback elite figure. This, I think, is a great elite. This is his first figure in the Mattel line. He came with a his King of the Ring attire. This is a pretty cool figure. I like the face scan. The only thing I made this number 10 is that it is not this figure is not like a standout attire. Next up at the number 9 slot, we have these exclusive Hardy Boys. This is their first time back into the Mattel line. These figures were amazing. I really like these figures. The only thing I didn't like about them is that the same with Harley Race, the attire was quite basic. But I really like these figures, and these figures are the Hardy figures to get. Next up at the number 8 slot, we have this ringside collectibles exclusive Brian Kendrick. This figure was absolutely amazing. This figure was absolutely amazing. I like the jacket, and it comes with a little, what do you call those? A little flag, that he has. The only thing I didn't like about it was that the attire was quite boring, but that's how his attires are. I think they're quite boring. But the face scan is pretty accurate, if you guys can see it. That's a pretty accurate face scan, and I like the jacket, but he did not make it higher on my list. Next up, we have the NXT Elite Ember Moon. This figure was absolutely outstanding. I really like this figure. I think it's one of the best figures in 2018. This is a figure to get. The only thing I don't like about this figure is... The only thing I really don't like about this figure is the face scan. I'm sorry, I would like her to have a better expression like the one she has. Maybe she could have had her tongue sticking out or whatever. I don't know, I just don't like that face scan. Next up at the number 6 slot, we have Alundra Blaze. This is the flashback elites. This figure was absolutely amazing. These figures that they did in the flashback was some of the best figures they did out of the whole year. This one came with the old school women's title. This figure was very, very good. This might be a little picky, but I do not like how the only thing I have to say about this is that I didn't like the title. I think the title was too small, but I think that's how the titles were back then, but that's just my opinion, and that's why she's number 6 on my list. Next up, at the number 5 slot, we have Shelton Benjamin from the Elite Series 63. Elite Series 63. This was such an amazing figure. The chase figure was absolutely amazing, too. The only thing I didn't like about it was, well, it wasn't much that I didn't like about it. It was just that I wish it would have came with a different accessory, or maybe no accessories at all, because I did not like the ladder it came with. That's just my opinion, but I did not like that figure because of that reason. Next up, we have Kurt Hawkins Elite Series 64. This figure was amazing. I don't really have anything to say bad about this figure. I like the face scan, I like the attire, I like the vest, I like the stick that he has. But it just wasn't enough to make it to the higher on my list, even though he's pretty high on the list. Next up, we get to our final 3 picks. We have Jake the Snake Roberts. This one came with Damien, his snake. This attire is amazing. The snake is actually pretty cool. The snake is actually pretty cool. The only thing I don't like is the face scan. Like, what kind of face scan is that? But I really like this figure. The only thing I have to say is about the face scan, as I said. But this is a pretty good figure, and this is my pick to get if you want a Jake the Snake figure. This is the figure to get. Next up at the number 2 slot, we have Elite Series 58. Mickey James. This one came out at the very beginning of the year. I think it came out in February or January. This one came with the women's title, not the white ones. It came with the black and gold ones, the one that Trish and Lita had. It came with that title, and I think this figure is absolutely outstanding. The only thing I have to say is I do not like the face and how they painted her face. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I didn't like how they painted her face, and that's the only thing I have to say bad about this figure. But it took me a really hard time to like say, oh, this one's gonna be not number 1, it's gonna be number 2, because the number 1 figure is, I think, the best figure of the whole year. Okay, now before we get to our number 1 slot, we have our honorable mentions, and these ones are in no particular order, but we have the Jinder Mahal figure. This one came with the ring. I think this figure was the best. I think this figure was absolutely one of the best figures of the year. I just don't like that face. Next up, we have Elias. I think this figure is absolutely amazing. I just don't like the attire. It's pretty basic for me. Next up, we have the Bar. I think these figures are amazing. I just don't like the attires. These attires seem pretty basic for me. Next up, we have Zack Ryder. This figure was absolutely amazing. I just don't like the face scan. It seems pretty basic for me. But this figure was absolutely awesome, I think. This figure is one of the best figures of the year. Next up, we have... Well, let me take off these. But next figure we have is the Burn It Down Seth Rollins. This figure was absolutely amazing. The face scan is awesome. I just didn't think it was that awesome. Like, that great to put in my top 10. I'm sorry. But I just don't think he was, like, that like, high enough to get on my top 10 list. Next up on our top 10 list, we have, at the number 1 slot, Shinsuke Nakamura Elite 63. This figure, it was like they shrunk Shinsuke Nakamura and put him into a box and put him into the Elite line. This figure was absolutely incredible. I like the jacket he had. I like the attire. I like the face scan. I like everything. I like the hands that he had, the movable hands. I think this figure was absolutely the best figure of the year. And that's just in my opinion. But that's my list I have for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. There will be more videos coming soon, but I will let you know on those videos. Leave a comment down below on your picks of the year. So that's my picks for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video. Bye, champs.